So this is a gameplay video for the application Harmony of the Spheres. This is a standalone application for the MetaQuest 2. Once we get past the loading screen, we're greeted with the main menu here. And as you can see, we have two laser beams, and they relate to the right hand controller and the left hand controller. The idea here is that we use these beams to interact with our environment. So we'll start by pressing the trigger button over tutorial, and here we're greeted with the first tutorial screen, which explains this idea that each of the planets have their own tone, and the pitch of their tones relates to how close they are to the Sun. So Mercury there, Venus have quite high tones, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn will have lower tones as they're further away from the Sun. On to the next page, we learn about how we can change the volume of each of these planets by adjusting their size. So if we hover over Mars here and we push the thumbstick or joystick up, we hear that Mars gets louder there, and if we push it back down again, it gets quieter once more. As well as this, we can hold the grip button, and once we've held onto the grip button with our middle finger, we can then flick our wrist, let go, and then you should be able to hear there that we've introduced a vibrato, subtle one there, and then a much crazier one there. Alright, so we'll make that smaller, and we'll pop on to the next page, 3 here, and this describes how you can teleport to different planets. And once you've teleported, you can change their sound, color, or timbre. So it tells us here to teleport, we have to hover over the planet Earth here and press the trigger button. Once we've teleported, we can add moons to this planet by pressing the A button. And as you can hear there, the sound, color, or timbre of the planet is changing as we add more moons. Let's spin it a little bit, maybe make it bigger, and if we press B, we can then remove moons again if we want to return back to the fundamental tone of the planet. Harmonics, fundamental. Once we're happy with that, we can turn around, head on back to the Sun, teleport to this central Sun here, and this is where we return to hear all the planets together. Once we finish with the tutorial there, we can just begin. So once we begin, we are placed into our solar system. Each of the 8 planets here are spinning around me. I can see and also hear their positions. And I'm placed upon the Sun. So from this position, I can interact with all of the planets. I can make them bigger, say if I want to make them louder, Earth there, or I can make them smaller, for example, Jupiter. If we want to hear less of him, we can make them smaller, and say we want Venus to sing, let's increase her size. I can also change the chorus rate, or sorry, the vibrato rate of the planets from this position. If I want to, where's Venus? I'll make Venus spin a little bit as well. So this essentially is like a mixer where you can sort of, change different effects, and you can make certain planets louder or quieter by changing these physical parameters of them. And from here as well, I can teleport to the planets. Let's say we want to go to Jupiter. I can, from this position, then add moons to Jupiter by pressing the A button. And as you'll hear there, the timbre of the sound changes as I add more moons. So they're all the harmonics combining together on top of the fundamental tone to enrich this sound. I can spin the planet as well to maybe not as much. Just a little light vibrato maybe for that one. Let's go to Earth. We'll add a few moons to Earth as well, and go to Neptune. Neptune sounds pretty grisly. So does Uranus. Wonderful. And then we head back to the sun, and to hear all of these planets singing together. That's pretty much it. We'll maybe make Earth a little quieter. He's a bit annoying there. Let's make Saturn a little bit louder too. And yeah, this is the harmony of the spheres. A few other small notes as well that don't relate to the gameplay but are more related to the UI. If I press the options button on the controller, it just gives me a list of the controls here in case I forget them. From there you can also go back home, where you are greeted once again with this main startup screen. Yeah, that's been my gameplay video for Harmony of the Spheres. Thanks for watching.